We start our ride in Leadville, Colorado, riding the thrilling twist of Loveland Pass, cruising through historic Georgetown, and climbing to the stunning summit of Guanella Pass. History, adrenaline, and Colorado mountains. This ride has it all. Picture this. You fire up your bike in Leadville, the highest incorporated city in the United States at 10,152 feet. Once a roaring mining town of the 1800s, Leadville was the heart of the silver boom, home to legends like Horace Tabor and Molly Brown. Today, its historic main street feels like stepping back in time, with brick storefronts and old saloons that once catered to miners chasing fortune. Rolling out of Leadville, you head north on Highway 91. The wind crisp and thin at this elevation. The peaks of the Sawatch Range tower to the west, and turquoise lakes glimmer in the valleys. Stay on 91 until you reach I-70 west towards Silverthorne and Dillon. After approximately 10 miles on I-70, take the exit for US 6 toward Loveland Pass, bypassing the Eisenhower Tunnel. Follow US 6 west as it climbs the steep switchbacks to the summit of Loveland Pass, 11,990 feet. A stretch about 10 miles filled with breathtaking alpine views. After cresting the pass, continue descending US 6 east for another 10 miles until you reach Georgetown, a historic mining town where Victorian architecture lines the streets, and the Georgetown Loop Railroad still puffs through the canyon. From Georgetown, turn south onto Guanella Pass Road, County Road 381. This road climbs steadily for about 12 miles, winding through forests, waterfalls, and alpine meadows until you reach the summit of Guanella Pass, 11,669 feet. Along the way, the scenery opens to tundra, wildflowers, and panoramic mountain views, with opportunities to spot bighorn sheep and elk. This route takes us through historic towns, high-altitude thrills, and some of the most spectacular mountain scenery in Colorado. We leave the traffic behind and aim for something far more raw, the twisting climb of US Highway 6 over Loveland Pass. The ascent begins with wide sweepers, then tightens into sharp hairpins that demand balance and focus. You lean the bike hard into the switchbacks, engine revving as you pull out of each corner, the wind tearing at your jacket as the world drops away beneath you. Curve after curve, the road clings to the mountainside, each bend revealing a bigger, bolder view of the Continental Divide. At nearly 12,000 feet, we crest the summit of Loveland Pass. The engine ticks as it cools in the thin air, and for a moment, the silence is overwhelming. Snow still clings to ridges in midsummer, the peaks stretching endlessly in every direction. This is the kind of place where you feel both powerful and small, balanced perfectly between sky and stone. The descent is just as thrilling. Sharp hairpins, steep grades, and wide open straights where the throttle begs to roll on. Every turn keeps your senses alive, tires gripping the pavement as the valley floor rushes up to meet you. The pass is named after William H. Loveland, an influential 19th century businessman and railroad pioneer. Loveland played a key role in Colorado's development, particularly through the Colorado Central Railroad, which helped link mountain towns like Georgetown and Silver Plume to larger trade networks. His vision and investments made transportation to the Rockies more feasible, and naming the pass after him honored his contributions to opening up the region. Before modern roads, Loveland Pass was traversed by miners, settlers, and later early automobiles and freight wagons, making a vital but dangerous route across the Continental Divide. The road was built and gradually improved in the 20th century, finally becoming a paved highway that allows modern vehicles, motorcycles, and cyclists to experience its breathtaking switchbacks and panoramic views. Today, it's known not only for its historic significance, but also as one of Colorado's premier high mountain driving and riding experiences, with sweeping vistas of surrounding 14,000-foot peaks and a wild, alpine environment. At the bottom, nestled in its canyon, we find Georgetown. This Victorian mining town still wears its history with pride. Narrow streets wind past ornate homes and storefronts that once bustled with silver wealth. Georgetown is a historic mountain town located in Clear Creek County, nestled in a narrow valley along the Clear Creek River. Founded in 1859 during the early days of the Colorado Gold Rush, Georgetown initially attracted prospectors seeking gold in the surrounding mountains. While gold brought the first settlers, it was silver mining that truly shaped the town, especially after the discovery of rich silver veins in the nearby hills. By the late 1800s, Georgetown had become one of Colorado's most prosperous mining towns, producing millions of dollars in silver and supporting a population of over 10,000 residents at its peak. The town is named after George Griffith, one of its earliest settlers and a prospector who played a key role in establishing the initial mining community. Over time, Georgetown grew into a bustling Victorian-era town with ornate buildings, hotels, and churches, many of which still stand today. The Georgetown Loop Railroad, constructed in the 1880s, became a vital link for transporting silver ore to the valley below and is now a historic tourist attraction, allowing visitors to ride a narrow-gauge train over towering trestles and through the surrounding mountains. Despite the boom and bust cycles of mining, Georgetown has preserved its 19th century character, making it one of Colorado's best examples of a living historic town. Its combination of rich history, mountain architecture, and scenic location continues to draw visitors from around the world. As you leave Georgetown and turn south onto Guanella Pass Road, County Road 381, the road immediately begins to climb into the mountain wilderness. The journey is scenic, winding through dense forests of spruce and aspen, with waterfalls cascading down granite cliffs. In summer, wildflowers carpet the meadows, and wildlife such as moose, elk, and bighorn sheep can often be seen grazing near the roadside. A few miles in, you pass remnants of old mining cabins and ghost towns, reminders of the 19th and early 20th century silver and gold rush that swept this region. These small ruins, tucked into the mountains, are a glimpse into the lives of miners who braved the harsh alpine environment in search of fortune. The road continues to climb with tight switchbacks, opening into alpine meadows and tundra at higher elevation. Here, the tree line ends and panoramic views of surrounding 14,000-foot peaks, including Mount Bierstadt and Mount Evans, dominate the horizon. It's a place where the air is thin, the wind is crisp, and the landscape feels raw and untamed. Silver mining in Colorado began during the mid-1800s, peaking during the Colorado silver boom of the late 1870s and 1880s. Mining was both labor-intensive and dangerous, with miners using a combination of surface mining and underground hard rock mining. Early prospectors sometimes used placer mining, panning rivers and streams for silver or mixed with sand and gravel. This method relied on gravity. Heavier silver particles would settle to bottom of pans, while lighter material washed away. The bulk of Colorado silver came from underground veins in mountains. Miners would dig vertical shafts and horizontal tunnels into the rock to follow veins of silver ore. Explosives, typically black powder or dynamite, were used to blast through solid rock. Miners then used pickaxes, shovels, and carts to remove ore from the tunnels. Mining was extremely dangerous. Cave-ins, flooding, gas explosions, and lung diseases like silicosis were common hazards. Despite the risks, the rich silver veins in towns like Leadville, Georgetown, and Silverton created massive fortunes and shaped Colorado's economy and settlements. The pass itself is named after Pete Guanella, an early rancher and guide in the region who helped open this route for travel between the Clear Creek Valley and the South Park area. Guanella worked with local miners, ranchers, and settlers to make the road more accessible, creating a path that would eventually become the scenic highway known today. His name lives on in the pass, honoring his role in connecting communities across this rugged part of the Rockies. At the summit of Guanella Pass, 11,669 feet, the terrain flattens slightly, providing parking areas and vantage points for breathtaking views. From here, the surrounding peaks, valleys, and alpine tundra stretch as far as the eye can see, offering a rewarding climax to the ride. The pass is not just a road. It's a journey through Colorado history, from mining remnants to ranching heritage, all set against some of the most dramatic mountain scenery in the state. Thanks for coming along on this ride with us. We kicked off our ride in Leadville, the highest city in America, engines rumbling as the mountains rise around us. We lean into the curves of Loveland Pass, nearly 12,000 feet up, adrenaline mixing with the crisp alpine air and endless views of the Continental Divide. Descending into Georgetown, we cruise past Victorian buildings, feeling the history beneath our wheels. At the summit of Guanella Pass, 11,669 feet, we pull over and take in the sweeping vistas of Mount Bierstadt and Mount Evans, grinning at the shared thrill. Over roughly 65 to 70 miles in 2.5 to 3 hours of riding. It's a journey packed with history, adrenaline, and mountain beauty. If you enjoyed the journey, give us a like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to ride along on every new twist, turn, and breathtaking view. We'll see you on the next ride.